Hi, welcome back. Today's topic is vegetarianism. But what even is that? Vegetarianism is a plant-based diet where you mainly eat vegetables, fruits, grains, eggs, and dairy products. But it is not something new. Actually, vegetarianism has been in earth for a very long time. We all know Pythagoras, the guy that has made us all suffer in geometry. He is best known for his mathematical theorem, but actually he is considered the father of vegetarianism. Even, a meatless diet was referred to as a Pythagorean diet until the modern vegetarian movement began in the mid-1800s. But most anthropologists believe that vegetarianism began long before that, with the first men that were on this earth. This happened mainly because plants couldn't actually run away, and even though prehistoric men ate meat now and then, they had a plant-based diet. In ancient Egypt, 400 years ago, the diet was plant-based. A study made in the University of Lyon stated that ancient Egyptians ate cultivated wheat and barley, and that the diets are actually really similar to the ones of modern vegetarians. Theorists say that it was mainly because of religious reasons, and not really because it was easier like prehistoric men did. In ancient Egypt, cows, rams, pigs, and geese were considered sacred. Also, it was really rare for them to use animal skins in clothing. Going back to Pythagoras and his followers, they had many reasons for being vegetarians, but mostly it was because of religious reasons and ethics. See, Pythagoras believed that everyone had a soul, and animals were not the exception. He was also one of the first people to speak for animal rights. So, any type of animal was banned from his table, as well as beans. But that's a whole other topic. I mean, he believed men and beans came from the same material. After Pythagoras died, the whole not eating beans rule was lifted, but his disciples continued to eat meatless diets. These principles influenced generations of religious thinkers and academics, who later founded the Vegetarian Society in England. But it wasn't until the 1960s that this movement came to the United States, and 10 years later, a graduate student called Frances Moore Lapp wrote a book called Diet for a Small Planet, where she says that the reasons to follow a meatless diet are not ethical or moral, but because it had a positive impact on the environment. Nowadays, many vegetarians not include meat on their diet because of animal rights and concerns with animal treatment. This principle was first introduced by Peter Singer in his 1975 work called Animal Liberation. And every day, more people are doing a vegetarian diet.
Leaving all history aside, we can say that a human being can live a healthy life without eating meat even once. And there are many reasons why you should stop eating meat, but one of them that we can say it's because animals have rights and therefore we should not eat them. This is also known as moral vegetarianism. So, to put this on perspective, globally we kill 200 million animals a day, making that 74 billions a year. So, in 1.5 years, we kill more animals than people have lived in 200,000 years of history. Some people can argue about that we are making them a favor, that after all, they exist because of us. We eat them at the end, but we provide them with food, shelter, and the gift of existence. But it's not such a nice life. For example, pigs live in windowless sheds in which they die without seeing the sun once. Cows are forced to breed continuously, but they are separated from their babies 1 hour after they are born. And chickens are kept in vast numbers in so small places that they can't build a social structure, so they start attacking each other. And what do farmers do about this? They cut their pigs and claws out. So, would cows, chicken, and pigs even exist if we didn't farm them? They wouldn't be in this world because of this. So then we have the non-identity problem, that it is better for them to exist even if their purpose is to be killed than never being born. another reason why you should stop eating meat is that we have evolved enough that we don't need meat anymore. The reason of this is the appendix. The appendix was used on the early human to digest raw meat, but nowadays we all know that we don't need the appendix for anything. So, meaning that you don't need to eat meat anymore. But many people should argue that the evolution to this point could have only happened with a high energy diet, one that did not include plants alone. But we can argue against that, saying that we have already evolved and we have many different knowledges that we can get protein from different sources, for example beans and grains, meaning that we don't need meat anymore. An example of this are many important people that have lived through history that were vegetarians. For example, Aristotle, Benjamin Franklin, Louisa May Alcott, Gandhi, Buddha, Leonardo da Vinci, Paul McCartney, and Albert Einstein. Thank you for watching this video.
Don't forget to subscribe, give us a big old thumbs up,
and comment down below if you would become a vegetarian or not and why. Love you, Debbie.